gosh. Well, yeah.
Today we'll review one of the most iconic episodes, if not the most iconic episode to come out of Season 5 of MLB. Miss Emotion herself, you just had to be there when the script was leaked and when it aired. That was a crazy time. I sure remember where I was. Now I wish I didn't. Let's get into it. First thing we see is this motherfucker. You all know I hate his creepy ass. I don't get how these kids don't see the problem with him and why no one is reporting him, like he's probably drugging them with this weird ass ice cream. That's probably the magic he talking about. Also, why is it always ice cream? Like the word date in their universe means let's go get ice cream from this particular guy. Like go for fried chicken or something. Why always ice cream? Anyways, Marinette and Adrian are on a date, except it lasts 2 seconds because Adrian has to leave. This frame is my reaction to a lot of things. He's like, oh, I'm supposed to go see my father, bye, but she gets suspicious, so she asks Tiki. Meanwhile, we hear a little snap of somebody's fingers in the back. Ooh, wonder who that is. Then she tells Ella and Nino about it. They laugh because she's somehow the only one who doesn't know about the Diamonds dance, despite having a questionable track record of having his whole schedule memorized and all that. And she says he can do whatever he wants and that she can't control everything, and that ain't changed. Can't control everything? This was a jab to the Marinette as a stalker crowd fell. But Loki the Sopiad isn't helping her case, despite that being the writer's goal, because right after this she sneaks into his house again just to tell him that it's okay he didn't tell her about this, instead of just texting him that. What the hell? Sure, like we wanna talk about growth, but this isn't giving growth, I'm sorry baby. But at the same time, her sneaking in to tell him that in person where she's not supposed to be was also convenient for the Felix showdown later, even though they could have just had her be in her house. So if Adrian wanted him to bring Marinette back, she would transform in her house conveniently and find them herself or something. So the showdown could have still happened even if her not at the party, but I guess they wanted Felix to see that she's not like the monstrous controlling people that he hates, because it's that black and white in his head. But we'll get into this later. They tell us about the Diamonds dance and we move on to the queen of the dance, who's fencing against this bitch. Lila is there and asks if she's okay, and Kagami tells her about the dance, and we get one of the best interactions in the whole show.
Of course not, you're not a precious stone. You're just a stone.
Aterapong, Marinette on the very same day also plan a movie date with Zoe. Damn, her schedule full. Zoe tells her she's invited to the dance but she won't be going because nobody gives a fuck and she hates the people there. Those are her ops. Damn, everybody hates these people. If I was her or Felix, I would just set the whole thing on fire then. Then they get the idea to have Marinette take her place because of course. Whatever happened to growth? Baby, just text him. You don't need to put yourself in danger at this coke party with these crackheads to tell this boy it's okay that he didn't tell you about this party. It's not making sense. Time for the coke party. Everybody showing up and signing the contracts that don't allow them to tell anyone what they saw at Gabriel's party. Well, no, but they get these masks and Fritz. They probably got stylists at the door. If all these guests are part of Gabriel and Tomoe's cult, that probably explains the different outfits according to their rank or something. Gabriel gets a call from Lila and ignores her. With this beef brewing, Felix, who's acting as Adrian, says hi and kisses Kagami's hand and senses an amok. This episode really caused a whole controversy, with Kagami being a Senti being too like the people already hated the Senti Adrian and Senti Felix Agena, but Kagami's in it too now. Foul. People hated this, not me though. Hashtag love my Senti trio. Amelie pushes through the guards and clocks Gabriel's ass for being neglectful and disgusting and not giving a fuck about his missing nephew. She's such a good actress. Look how she ended the sister. I know that's right. I've made a whole video just about this side plot from this episode where Felix proves to Amelie Gabriel doesn't care about them by telling him Felix is missing just to see his reaction. Because mind you, he's a child and could have actually been kidnapped on the train back to London. It's not even funny. Like he didn't even know if Felix was actually missing or not and didn't give a fuck. This was the test that proved to Amelie this man is shit from an ass. Natalie escorts her out and I love your yes. I'm totally normal about this scene, like look how Amelie is looking at her, this is crazy. Clocked Natalie too with it, there's always a choice line, and Natalie made the worst choice imaginable and knows it. That's crazy. Also Marinette witnessed this drama. At the ball Marinette pulls a Lila Rossi and makes up a new identity where she's even richer than she already is and clocks Chloe. Like I'm sorry, no way, these masks got quantum masking too. How do you not recognize the girl you bully for years? She's stupid. Kagami is stressing because Felix kissed her hand, but Adrian is dating Marinette and Felix didn't know that. Messy. It's admirable of you, my queen. Have you all ever seen Adrian call his girl my queen? That's so crazy. She's like, you don't have to do all that because our parents ship us, it's okay, they're not looking, and he genuinely likes her. Foul. Like he may be an actor but he can't even act like he doesn't like her like that. Another reason for him to end these controlling frauds. Time to dance. Have some composure, where is your posture? Oh no. He tells her they can literally just leave, but she's scared and he says he can. Like I'm sorry, Adrian has never talked like this before and she's not even suspicious. She would love to leave but can't because she has to live up to her mother's expectations of being a puppet. And he points this out, clock that T. Marinette embarrasses herself in front of everyone, but it's okay because everyone there is on crack anyways. What did she think was going to happen? Couldn't he have worn Adrian's lab coat with his phone in it and see Marinette texting him all this and start appreciating her instead of this? Help, it still would have worked if she wasn't there and just texted him. But this little speech makes Felix not group her with all the others. And Chloe just now realized who she was talking to. Like of course that's her gay sister's crush that she allowed to take her place. Felix is stressing after this and takes her hand before she can leave and dances with her instead of Kagami. As his response to the Diamonds dance as a whole, his response to Gabriel's sticky ass forcing his son to date someone he doesn't want to, and dances with who Adrian actually wants, as Adrian. One of my favorite things in this episode is this little gay going, I think I broke an illegible. I love how they all just let them dance. Hello? Why is no one intervening? Foul. Marinette says everyone's looking at her like she's a monster, and this being Felix's trigger word, he gets defensive and says they're the monsters. She gets suspicious as hell and realizes that's Felix. Well yes, took you long enough. Her being tricked the second time and not being able to tell who her boyfriend is pissed her off even more now that they're dating. Chloe jumped on Marinette like a crazy person and Felix transformed for the first time in front of us and revealed Miss Red Moon. Look how he ate that up. And guess who his first victim is? Cockroach Bourgeois, who was attacking Marinette. Everyone is scared and running away. Gabriel is sweating and Felix sends him his number one injury. Exactly. If I wanted to harm you, uncle, I would have done it a long time ago. Love how Gabriel fell for that and trusted him with the peacock as if he could do anything to harm him before as a powerless child. Like Girl by Gabriel is dumb as hell. Ooh, this must have been so cathartic to him, like you can tell he's waited for this his whole life. His whole life has led up to this moment. Canon event. This was low-key a finger workout. Like how many times did he have to snap his fingers until everyone disappeared? That's crazy. Was it one by one? Me asking the real questions. Meanwhile Kagami is freaking out because her controller is gone. I would be so happy. I'm actually shocked Felix didn't find out Marinette is Ladybug in this episode because the material is all there. What do you mean he took her to a trash can so she'll be away from the light of Miss Red Moon? And immediately Tiki starts yelling, I can't believe that was Felix. Girl, by what if he didn't leave immediately and heard you? Hope none of you forgot this is a musical episode. Everyone thank Argos for releasing Song of the Year Snapping My Fingers. This unhinged musical number ended Kitty's section. Him jumping around singing and snapping away all these cops. How can you hate this diva? This song is so gay. #loves it. Okay, Luigi Mangioni's son. Or is Luigi Felix's son? Tell me in the comments who did it better. All jokes aside, let's talk about this. Basically what Red Moon does is if you're under her light and Felix snaps his fingers, you disappear. Where to? The Borderlands maybe. We don't have an answer from the writers, but I would assume all these people were in the void for these 10-15 minutes. Imagine Argos snaps you out of existence and you end up with Risu and Kuina in Alice in Borderland. Whoa. That's why I giggle when I see people say Felix committed genocide and was forgiven or whatever they be making up about him. You all really don't get it. Like, let's not use that word so loosely. This is child's play, baby. baby. He could bring these MFs back anytime anyways. I never understood why people were acting like he killed them. Name one person he killed in this episode. No one exactly. I'm not even defending him because I'm biased, it's literally the truth. You all made it sound so much worse than it was. Hello. Love how Ladybug waited for the song to end to fight him. This scene is so fire, to be honest. I wanted to make a whole video just analyzing this because this gotta be one of the best fighting scenes in the show. Weeks of her being pissed as hell at him, waiting to fight him again for what he did. Him being so confident she'll give him her miraculous, like, hi friend, I'll just wait for Chat and War to get here so you can both give me your miraculous. Him thinking they'll agree to help him make this wish because it's for everyone's good, but it would mean every authoritarian figure disappears. That's what he wants and how he imagines his dream world where no one can control no one. But that's unrealistic, and she tries to tell him that. I have to praise the VS for a second because they served drama for the first time in ages. They went to that studio mad as hell like that bitches were not paying us enough. Back to the fight. Of course Ladybug wouldn't agree with a world without, well, Ladybug. That's why this wish can't work, because it includes superheroes, including his cousin. She tells him there would be a terrible price to pay, and he says there's no price too high for him. Girl, what if they cut your mama's head off over this wish? After he realized Ladybug will not cooperate, he resorts back to snapping everyone away because you can never be safe enough. I would expect the Lucky Charm to be an umbrella or something, because that way she would be covered up and Red Moon couldn't reach her in case Felix tried to snap her away. Like, that's why he put Marinette in the trash can, so. But for the first time she gets nothing as a Lucky Charm. This was such a crazy gag. She doesn't get a Lucky Charm because the Lucky Charm is Felix. It's literally his name, like, okay geniuses. The pen was on fire, so she let him go crazy until he realized he fucked up. She really gagged him here, like, look how he got mad as hell and she was snapped away peacefully into the void. Also, these shots of the empty city are so Alice in Borderland core, that's fire. Kagami was waiting to attack him and called him a monster, saying he made everyone she loved disappear. But he doesn't react to the monster part. That can't be true if I bring Adrian back. Felix didn't think Adrian would react like this since he wanted to be free from his father's control too. Honestly, as someone who can relate, I would love if this happened to me, like, imagine all your ops gone just like that. I get him. Felix acting crazy because he is, meanwhile he thinks he's being completely normal and he's so happy it's just the three of them. He's reunited with his cousin and gave him the best gift he could have ever given him. And he's not happy? Adrian and Kagami are confused why Felix is doing this, and he's confused why they're not happy, because he would be so happy if someone did this for him. We get a flashback to the moment Red Moon was created, and the first mistake was to create her out of anger. Emotions are fleeting and this creature made from anger can't last that long. Red Moon was doomed from the start, but because he was so mad he didn't think that through. While creating a Cindy himself, he didn't think about the fate of the Cindy because he thought it would be worth it in the end. It would be the three of them plus Red Moon after he made the wish. But he never got his wish. And he was still hopeful since he snapped away everybody else who he deemed controlling monsters. Flashback to the moment Adrian ran off from the date and Felix was waiting in a stall right behind them. Come here little kid, do you want candy? Adrian's dumbass going in at me cracking the fuck up. What did he think was going to happen? Like, talk to him right where you are, I don't know. Some people were scared the camouflaged cat ring he put on was Adrian's, but he never took Adrian's ring since he immediately snapped him away, so that's just a replica. You all know Felix loves his replica rings. Kagami starts attacking him and Adrian tells him to bring everyone back and stop being crazy. How can I be happy without Marinette? Girl, you tripping? Here she is. Oh, she's not here no more. Trying to bring Marinette back didn't work, and because he never snapped her away he freaked out and started thinking there's something wrong with his power, because he can bring back whoever whenever except her. And since he was already so overwhelmed, it didn't occur to him that maybe the reason she's not showing up as Marinette is because she's currently not Marinette. You know what I mean? Like I said, the material was all there. I'm surprised he didn't get suspicious, but at the same time he was so out it already, so he didn't think of that and immediately blamed himself and his power for not working properly. What if he'd made Marinette disappear forever? Adrian would never forgive him. They were already not doing well in their relationship and he had just started to appreciate Marinette too. The only option was to bring everyone back and see if Marinette would be there. So Marinette's plan worked and he realized he fucked up even though his power worked perfectly fine and he could still bring her back if he thought of Ladybug instead. Adrien telling him he's not in control of his power made it even worse. They were both so mad and he just wanted them to be happy without their abusers. Even Kagami, who wanted freedom just like him, was tied to her abuser and still wanted to live up to her expectations because that's all she knows. Felix, who showed up and caused chaos 10 minutes ago, having everyone be scared of him, is now trembling because the only people he cared for raised their voice at him. He can't afford to have anyone hurt him again and it's so black and white in his head. You are either abused or an abuser. He's only a child and doesn't know it's not so black and white. He can't just get rid of everyone in fear that one of them might be controlling and out to get him. Anyone could be out to get him, so he can't risk it. All the people present in the same room as two of the most prominent abusers in his life and in his cousin's life are just like them, so they need to go. He'll make it up to Adrien for everything, but Adrien is even more confused after this gesture because Felix isn't making sense and he can't knock any sense into him. He can only plead and hope Felix snaps out of it, because he's truly lost his cousin. Maybe he never knew him at all, because the cousin he knew growing up wasn't him, it was a puppet aware and trying to break free, hoping this will end soon, like being awake during surgery. Felix got rid of everyone and is happier than ever, but now Adrien is upset, and that's the opposite of what he wanted. He can't understand how Adrien and Kagami could possibly miss their abusers. If only it was that simple. It's not that simple and he realizes it because in that moment he understood Red Moon was a mistake from the start and her creation was a tragedy. She couldn't live any longer because that was his anger formed into a moon, and it had to go. This is what hurt the most. Him turning into his father and all the abusers he made disappear, and giving up his morals on sentient beings because he had to. Red Moon was the most important mistake that would shape him moving forward, and focus on healing and getting better, if not for himself, to spite his father. He had to kill an innocent little moon that didn't ask to be created, and only existed to bring his anger to life. He had to crash out like this to understand he'd hit rock bottom. He saw everyone hugging and being so happy together after he undid everything. He was the monster in their eyes, and he only wanted them to be carefree for once. But he went to the extremes and it didn't work. Nobody understood where he came from, even though they were all on the same boat. They still didn't understand him. How could they not understand him? Well, Felix didn't consider that maybe they're not as mentally ill as him. Winning the mental illness awards. Felix, do you want a cookie? He goes back home and Amelie is pissed because Gabriel doesn't give a fuck about her and she had some hope in him somehow. Amelie, hit me up, I can make you feel better, mommy. She says Gabriel and all the people there are monsters and Felix says not all of them. That's the lesson he learned today as a great character. It's not as black and white as you think. I'm totally normal about this Felix arc. I'm really trying to make this video as short as possible because I have so much more to say about this arc and what it means for Felix and his development. We would be here forever. Next day we get the Poly Trio back at it getting ice cream again. From you know who. Ya all gone get brain freeze from this shit one day. Ice cream again? And from this man? Don't piss me off. Felix, please clock this man's tea next season, I'm begging you. As long as it doesn't mean he'll get akumatized for the 5th time. You can't even clock this creep's tea without him getting akumatized. We need to kill him instead. As Andre Glacier's #1 anti, I have to duck off at least 2 points from the final rating because he's in this episode. So, Adrien says he didn't tell her about the dance because his father ordered him not to, and yet all still don't agree with Felix for making Gabriel disappear. Like, okay, Felix was ahead of his time. Gabriel tells Adrien this is why he didn't want him to tell her about the dance, because Felix clocked your ass? Alright. Lila calls from outside his house and he literally calls her an object. This old ass bitch compared her to bottles of perfume. I wish I was making this up. And yet all still got mad at Felix for ending his ass. Bye. He should have made the snapping thing permanent so no bitch could come back, that's all I'm saying. And now it's revealed that Lila knows he's monarch. Ooh, let me tell you, this gagged me. Okay, but why didn't Lila just make a new persona for the dance? Like, let's ask the real questions. Her bitching on the phone like, why didn't you invite me, your brand ambassador? Baby, you got unlimited identities to go with. She could have easily pretended to be a staff member again, I don't know. This episode episode was fire and it will always be iconic. I fear. 8 out of 10. God was in the studio probably. Would be a 9 if Andre the Dookie Man wasn't in it, or if he died in this. You know it's gonna be fire when Felix is in it. Like and comment what you think of this episode. Yes. Also, last video of the year one, wanted to thank all of you for all the support, not only this year but for the 2 years I've had this channel. I never thought I would get this far and have so many people watching, because I really just started this for myself, to get my thoughts out there because I thought it would be fun, and because a lot of my opinions don't align with the popular MLB tubers and my channel is quite niche in general. I thought it would just be me and maybe 2 other people. Yeah, all stay safe and I hope this year treats you well. Smoochies Fathomers.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm so sorry.
I can't feel my
Oh
kid.
crap! The tigers sting like the bee, guys. I have bad nerves. I'm so sorry. Feel better, okay?